Hello and welcome to your 30-minute restorative practice. I'm Steph if we haven't met before. For today, you will need 2 yoga blocks as well as a bolster. When you're ready, come and meet me on the mat. We will set our blocks up towards the back of the mat. First block on that middle height, second block behind it on the highest setting, and there's enough space for you to fit your arm in between the 2 blocks. Grab your bolster and place your bolster on top of the blocks like so. Bring your lower back nice and snug in towards your bolster and then bring your spine down to rest. Heel toe the feet together. Let the knees open wide. Take the hands down beside the hips. Coming into a reclined butterfly to begin our practice here today. Like to really let my shoulders wrap around the bolster here. Reach your arms out wide, but make sure that the hands can still rest on the mat or the floor. If you spend a lot of your day looking down at your phone or sitting at a computer, it can be nice to find this opening expansion across the front of the chest instead of always having it so closed off, rounding the shoulders forward and looking down. If having the knees open wide here is a little bit too much for you today, you can either have one leg extended straight and the other knee bent, or you might like to have both legs extended straight. I always like to encourage you to choose the option that suits how you're feeling each day. Noticing and honoring that our bodies can change so much from day to day. Not feeling that you have to fit your body to a pose, but adjusting the pose so that it fits your body. Let's settle into another 6 to 7 rounds of breath here. Allowing your breath to flow easy and effortlessly here. If you would like to work with longer, deeper breaths, again, this is your practice and you're more than welcome to. However, it can be nice in a restorative practice that is quite minimal effort to allow things to simply be as they are and not need to control or force things to be a certain way. When you're ready, soles of the feet will come to the mat, bring the knees in towards one another. Mindfully rolling over towards your right hand side, or you might like to press into the hands and lift yourself away from the bolster. Coming onto your outer right hip and bring that outer right hip right up to the edge of the bolster. Coming into a side laying position, your legs might naturally fall into a position. There's no right or wrong way to have the legs here. You can take the left leg further back behind you if you'd like a little bit more opening through the front of that left hip flexor. Have a play and see what feels nice for you here today. Our right arm will thread through that space between our blocks, and we're bringing the right side of our torso down to our bolster now, as well as that right cheek. I'm going to take my my right foot just above that left knee. And then with the left hand, you may hold on to your bolster or you may let it rest down on the floor. Again, always taking the first few moments to make any adjustments. If you're not sure about something, try it. If it feels nice, stay. If it doesn't feel quite right for you, come out, try something new, or maybe come back to a known shape. Settling into our side laying position for around 10 to 12 rounds of breath. Allowing yourself to simply be here. We've supported our bodies in a way that now we're letting gravity do its thing. We can enjoy a few quiet moments to ourselves, knowing that we're doing something kind for ourselves today. Let's enjoy one more round of breath here together. And we'll slowly start to make our way out. Bringing your hands onto your mat, start to press into the palms to lift yourself away from the bolster. I like to pause for a moment once I come out of the pose. We'll be coming into that same pose on the second side. When you're ready, slowly coming over onto your outer left hip. Again, bringing that left thigh, the top of the thigh, nice and snug so that it's connected to the bolster. When you're ready, it's your left hand that threads through the blocks, left side of the torso coming down to rest, bringing the left cheek down to the mat. Your right hand can either rest on the bolster, lightly holding the bolster, or bring the right hand down to the floor. I've got my left foot just above my right knee, but feel free to have a play with which variation or which shape you'd like to find in the legs. Settling into those 10 to 12 rounds of breath. I've got this beautiful view outside the window here to enjoy on this side. If you're at home or in a familiar place, it might be nice to close the eyes here. Allow yourself to tune into your inner vision, tune into the felt experience of the pose, connecting to your breath, noticing and observing the sensations that the pose invites into the body. Let's enjoy one more round of breath here together. And then bringing the palms to the mat. Pressing the hands down to lift yourself away from your bolster. Taking a moment to pause when you come up. Slowly making your way back into that reclined butterfly shape, or maybe just a reclined shape if you didn't have the knees open. Low back nice and snug in towards the bolster, and then bringing the spine down. Back of the head finds the bolster. Take those arms out wide again. Get that beautiful expansion across the front of the body. I'm even getting it down into my upper arms. It feels really, really good today. Soles of the feet come together, knees open wide, or those options again to have one leg straight, one knee bent, or both legs straight. Give yourself time. Make any adjustments you need to, and then we'll all find stillness in the pose. We won't be here for as long this time. Just bringing that balance back into the body. We've got one more round of breath together here, staying as you are. Bringing the hands in closer towards the hips. Bring the bottoms of the feet to the floor, knees point up towards the ceiling. You can either press yourself up and away from your bolster, or you can roll mindfully to one side and then press yourself up from there. We'll deconstruct this fabulous bridge that we've built, bringing your bolster to the side of your mat, and we'll place the blocks off to the side. Finish with the blocks for today. Turning to face the front of your mat and have the bolster close beside the hip on the right side of your mat. So bolster is off to the right side of the mat. We'll slowly lower ourselves down to our backs. Extending the legs out long. You might like to take the arms overhead to find a full body stretch. And when you're ready, keep the right leg extended out straight in front of you. Bring the left leg in towards the chest. Hug the knee in towards you. And then slowly guide your left knee over towards your bolster. I like to lift my outer right hip and tuck it under, and then adjust the bolster. So just because you've placed the bolster in a rounded position, it doesn't mean your leg has to find it. Move the bolster to meet the leg so that the knee, the shin, the ankle, and the foot can all rest on your bolster. Take the arms out wide. Make any adjustments if you need to. And then settle into your supine twist. Might close the eyes again, tuning back into that inner vision. And enjoying another 5 or so rounds of breath here. We'll mindfully start to make our way out, coming onto your back, bringing the feet to the mat so that you can readjust the hips. Take the legs out long in front of you. My bolster is quite heavy, so I like to roll it over my body. It just saves me holding weight in an awkward way. But we're bringing our bolster to the second side. Again, the bolster can move if it needs to, but it's roughly in line with that left hip. Left leg stays straight, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Slowly taking your right leg over towards your bolster. Again, slide the bolster to meet the leg so that the knee, shin, ankle, and foot rest on the bolster. I like to lift and tuck that outer left hip under me. Arms reach out wide to the side, and we settle into our supine twist once again. If you're finding your mind is quite active and busy here, choosing to focus on your breath or choosing to focus on the sensation of the pose may not always last for a long period of time, but if you can continuously catch when your focus drifts away from the practice and make that choice to bring it back, we slowly allow ourselves to stay a little bit longer and a little bit more present in our practices as time goes on. We've got about 5 more rounds of breath on this side. And we're slowly starting to make our way out. Bringing the feet to the mat so you can readjust the hips. And knees into the chest this time. Give yourself a hug, wrap the arms around the shins, and take a little rock from side to side. We'll make our way into our shavasana. If you'd like the bolster under the knees, sliding it, maybe using the feet to help you get it into position, letting the backs of the knees come to rest on that bolster, heels resting on the mat. You don't have to use the bolster in your shavasana, but the option is there for you if you'd like to take it. Heels are resting towards the front of the mat, toes naturally opening out to either side, backs of the hands resting on the floor. And allowing that entire back body to relax into your mat. Unclenching your jaw. Peel your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And soften the space between your eyebrows. Settling into complete stillness here. And I'll let you know when it's time for us to come out. If you have the time today to stay longer in your Shavasana, please feel free to stay as long as you can or as long as you need to. Otherwise, we'll slowly begin to invite deeper breaths back into our bodies. And take the pad of your thumb and lightly brush it across the tip of your index finger, the tip of your middle finger, the tip of your ring finger, and the tip of your pinky finger. And then slowly bringing the hands to touch in front of your heart. Taking a moment here to show yourself gratitude for carving this time out of your day for you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.